Hi everybody. Today we're going to see how I draw Shaman. Okay, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch to try to get him in a pose that I like, and to make sure I get everything in here too, because this one's pretty cool, right? That's why we're here. And I just want to make sure that I don't fall off the page too. So I know you probably can't see everything. This is a pretty light pencil coloring that I'm doing here. Pretty light pencil drawing that I'm doing. But this is mostly for me, just to make sure I get everything in the right place. And then I'll switch over to Sharpie in a bit, and you'll be able to see much better. But like I said, this is mostly for me, just to make sure I do it the way I want, you know? That's what sketching is all about. Let's see. Alright, so in looking at this sketch, I think some of it, no, a lot of it, is going to be taken care of with coloring, because so much of it relies on the way it looks with the color that I don't want to mess that up with trying to draw in all these details. So I think I'm just going to do as much as I can in pencil, or in ink, I guess, and the rest I'll take care of with color. And worry about it. Ooh, God, there's a lot of detail in this. And worry about it with coloring afterwards, because there is. Oh, I see. Like I said, there's a lot of detail in this, so I've got to figure out how to get all this in a short amount of time, because I don't want to be drawing here forever, because you want to be drawing too, Okay, so a few more things, a few more details I want to go. That's kind of the other reason for these sketches too, is to make sure I don't forget anything, because there's so much on this one, and I gotta make sure that I don't forget anything. I guess it's not that big a deal. I'm gonna say gotta make sure. I just would like to make sure, because again, this one's pretty cool. Okay, so let me add a few more details in here. There are some strange choices on this one, like the bones in the shoe. Okay. If that's what you want to do, Mr. Shaman, you do you. You do your bones. Okay. So I think I'm ready here. I'm going to switch over to Sharpie now. And you're welcome to use a Sharpie or use a pencil, whatever you like to do. I'm going to use Sharpie fine point and Sharpie pen. So let's start off with the fine point first, so I can get a few of those tiny details in that the fine point can't quite do. So I'm just going to start off with the eyes, and again, this is all I'm going to do for the face. There's too much intricate detail that won't look as good if I try to use my pencil. But you're welcome to, and if that's what you want to do, you go for it. But I won't be showing mine until after I'm done here. I will go ahead and add some lips, just to help out later on with where everything's going to be. So that also helps me figure out where the other parts of the face are going to be. So let's go ahead and draw his chin like this, and I think I'll thicken it up just a little bit and draw the other side over here, and again thicken it up just a bit, because when I add that other Sharpie, you're going to see a big difference in size of line widths is what it's called. Okay, so I'm gonna add his little crown thing on his head. I'm not too sure what this is. This artistic choice is basically what we're going to call it. And I'm kind of exaggerating it. I'm making it a lot bigger than it actually is, but that's my artistic license. I get to do what I want. Okay, and it's just some sharp, straight edges, so we don't have to worry too much about whether it's straight or not, but I'm trying to keep it as straight as possible. Alright. I think I'm done with that. So now I'm going to draw a few more like hair things on his head. And I had the same problem with the Night Witches. I kind of want to draw the lines in it because it's almost like twisted braided ropes, you know, but I almost kind of don't want to as well, you know. This is kind of the thing, is do I do it and regret it, or do I just keep going and let the coloring take care of it? Because I'm in ink, and once I go too far, I can't pull back, you know. You're in pencil, so if you want to go lines across like a rope, you're welcome to do it. But I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to let coloring take care of the rest, and I'll just do this like this, because it seems to be working for me. I'm just going to thicken some of them up, and I'm going to keep going across like this. Just do one side, then do the other, just to see how it looks. That way, if I just do one side, then I'm like, ugh, I don't like that. Or I do like it. Once I do the other side, it's like, well, I didn't do it the same way, you know? Why didn't you do it? So I'm just going to kind of follow my instinct here. And just kind of do something like this. And I just kind of sketched out like whippy hair like that, just to kind of give me a rough idea of what I want to do. I'm making it up as I go, you know, so there is no, this is wrong, this is right, this is me just doing what looks right to me. And I'm going to kind of do some on top here, because it's back behind his head, obviously. And then do some on top here, just to round out his head, because I didn't like the way those were just like this. I needed the roundness of his head, you know. So I'm going to do a few more just to define it. And I'll go ahead and do his neck to let me define like the ones that are hanging down. And just do a couple like this. Okay, that's starting to look good to me. Let's do another one like that, just to kind of give it some style. I like the way it's going. Need a couple more like that. And I think that's good enough for the hair. Like I said, I'm just going to thicken the outer edge a little bit just to make it stand out in places that I realize kind of make me feel better to thicken it up like that. Okay, good. That's a high forehead. That's a 5 or 6 head is what that is. But hey, that's what we did. That's what we're going to go with, and have fun with it, okay? So I'm going to switch over to the big sharp Sharpie now and keep working. So let's see. Let me zoom in on this picture here and try to figure out some of these things, because there's a lot of detail in it, and I want to get it right. Okay. All right, so we're going to, okay, so he's got these shoulder pieces. Those are on the top. I'll tell you what, let's do the horns. There's horns on top of that, so I like doing what's on top first, and then coming back and drawing what's underneath. So these horns are on top, and they're kind of connected, but they're also strapped in. So I'm going to do this to connect them, then do that to strap them in, okay? So same thing here. I'm going to draw the horn like that. It's connected there, and then this one's coming back like this. There, that's the topmost part, and then I can draw what's underneath it. Okay, so he's got shoulder pads that are about like this and like that. That'll give us definition lines. We can build off of this. So now I'm going to kind of do something like this, and that'll let me decide where everything else is going to go. Okay? And I'm basing all this on my sketch, so don't worry. I know it seems kind of like I'm just throwing it everywhere and it's floating, but I'm basing it on the sketch that I did. That's why I sketch first, to decide where some of this stuff is going to go. Alright, so there's that, and then it's all connected in the middle, and oh, you know what, there are... oh, there's not that. Look, I didn't do this piece. What is wrong with me? I'm just all excited to do the rest of it. I got to keep going, because I know we got a lot to do here. So, I'm going to do the little popsicle sticks. That's not really what they are, but it kind of reminds me of something like that. Little pieces that are hanging out like that. And I'm just kind of like making it up as I go. There's no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. I just know they just kind of stick out like that. Okay? And so now I'm going to draw this middle chest piece, and it's wrapped around by big straps, but we're just going to basically do this to connect it. And there's like this weird crisscrossy thing. That's why I did that, just to give me something to play with later when I'm coloring. And let's go ahead and do these straps. That'll define the other parts. Okay, and they're gonna hook on right here and go across, just like something like that. It doesn't have to be exact. I'm getting too technical here myself, so let's just go ahead and finish this up and draw the other piece. It's like this weird extra leather piece that's or not extra, but unspecific. It's kind of cut. That's all over that part. Okay. That'll give us his chest piece. So now I can build off of this, and I can draw his chest. I'm going to have it out like this. He's kind of leaning back a little bit. And then I'm going to draw his belt. And this is basically going to give me something to work off with, so I can build off everything else. So let's draw his arms. I've got him kind of up like this, kind of, hey, check me out, look at my paws. And so this arm is in the front, so I'm going to draw this forearm first. Draw the elbow. Come back around and draw the other part like that. And he's got like straps going across, holding it together. And then it's going to get even crazier because he's got, let's switch over, he's got these little bones across his hands. Like teeth bones, I guess is the best way to say it. Let me find a close-up picture real fast, make sure I get it just right. Okay, and so basically I'm just going to do something like this. I know where my sketch is, and they're across the hand, so I'm just going to kind of start doing some, I got to get a new pen. Do something like this, just to kind of build off of. So, I guess kind of look at it like tiger teeth. That's the best way to look at it, and think of it that way. I'm going to thicken them up just a bit, because the thick versus thin, I just kind of wanted to stand out a little bit. There's some over here too, but I'm not worried about those yet. Okay, so I'm going to draw his hand kind of out like that. So I'm going to do his elbow like this, and the elbow, the wrist like that, the other part of the hand out, and do the thumb like that, because it's ooh, how's he standing? So it's this hand, like that. That's the best way to look at it, okay? And so I'm going to draw his fingers up here like this. And so I kind of have them like, let's see, how can I show you? Kind of like this. So if you do it like that, sometimes it looks off, sometimes it looks weird. So we could just do them straight out, but I think we'll do a mix. We'll kind of do like that, okay? So we're gonna let's do one finger up like this, and I'm gonna bring it back in, but the other finger is gonna be like that in front of it, okay? Now this one, I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna go ahead and bend it like that, and then this one, I'm just going to kind of do like that. See how it's kind of a mix of both, not exactly one certain one, but we just kind of did what we wanted to do, like this weird looking hand, So see, we just made our own thing. We did what we wanted to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and close that off too, and then I'm going to draw the rest of his arm behind that one. So I'm going to do his bicep, shoulder to his bicep, and then connect it down here as well. And that arm is done. So let's do this one, and we'll kind of do the same thing. Let's do it over here too. But this one's off to the side, so I'm going to draw the hand first, because I know how I want it to be and where it's going to be on that side. So I'm drawing the basics of it. See how I drew like this part? That's what I'm doing, kind of something like that. And so now I can come in and finish up the thumb, and close it off because it's got the glove, and then do the same thing with the fingers. I got the pinky over here. I'm just going to kind of do something like that. And I kind of like doing stuff like this, because especially with these kind of characters, because it's like, ooh, you know, it doesn't have to be a fist like he's strong. He's got shaman power, you know, and I'll go ahead and bend that finger, and that's where his power lies, you know, this superpowers, I guess, you know, super shaman powers. So now I'm going to draw his forearm like that, bring this one down. And I'm kind of doing the stair-stepping thing because he's got like those wraps going around, holding it together, you know, so it's not like one complete glove. So here, what we can do is, because it's on the back side, it's not going all the way around, maybe, I don't know, we'll just draw some teeth like this. And I guess we'll draw a couple like leaning out to the front, just a couple of hanging off, because I really don't know if they're going to the front side of the hand or not. I don't think so. Why would they go around there, right? You got to grip stuff. So I'm just going to kind of do a few like this, and it doesn't have to be exact. It's just because we did it on the other side, so we got to do something over there, right? Okay, here we go. So now let's do the same thing over here. We're going to do the shoulder to the bicep like that, and then connect it over here like this. And you're pretty much done with the top half. So now we just got to finish up the front. And so same thing, he's got bones that I'm going to switch over to the Sharpie for the front, and we'll build off of that. So these, I don't know what bones exactly these are. I'm just going to say it's like a femur that's sharpened up. That's all I can say, because it's a short pointy bone, and we don't have short pointy bones. But hey, maybe it's some kind of giant saber-tooth that I don't know about, and maybe in shaman world they exist. I'm sharpening. I'm thickening them up just a little bit, just to make them stand out. And this one's kind of a weird looking, something like this. And they're held on by straps, and we'll just do like this. And the straps are underneath too, but I'm going to wait to do it with color, because it looks like maybe they connect on the drape hanging down. I'm not too sure. I'm just going to do this. I can control this right now, so I'm going to do that. All right, good enough for that. So let's move back over to the Sharpie. All right, let me find my picture again. Okay, so let's draw his belt, and I know this front part of the belt is going to come down like this, and that's kind of wraps over the other part, which is kind of hanging down here, and that's where this kind of comes in. So I'm going to do something like that, and that'll help us connect. He's got a lot of detail in this one, like that, some kind of strange belt over a belt. I always say strange, but strange is not the word I mean. Unique, because it's not strange. It's an artistic choice, and that's awesome that they did this. It's great that they did something crazier than just the standard, Fortnite armor. You know, and I really like that. I really appreciate that. So I hate to always call it strange. It's just strange to me because I'm not used to it. That's all it is. You know. Okay, so there's the first part hanging down in the front. And then he's got, I can't tell what it is, like some kind of something that looks like this. Like, you know, the usual pouch that everybody has. His is a little different. Don't know what that is, but I just drew it. Okay, so now let's draw the rest of him. So he's got like the skirt kind of ripped like that, hanging over his leg. Same thing over here, kind of ripped like that. I'm going to connect it like this. And so now I could draw his pants. And his pants I'm going to bring down to past his knee to like a mid calf, I guess. Kind of do something like that. And he's got same thing, like these little straps that are hanging down out of his wrapped up legs. And I don't know what they are. It's the unique artistic choice that they decided to go with, to have some kind of little paper things hanging down from his wrapped up legs. Okay, and that's what I'm going to do for that. Okay, now I'm going to draw those lines in with the thinner Sharpie in a second, but I just wanted to go ahead and finish that up for that part, just so we can keep going. Okay, so his shoes are going to be pretty simple. Again, he's got these weird bone shoes. I'm not here to judge. I guess I am if I'm calling them weird, huh? And so there's his legs down to his ankles. And so now I'm going to go ahead and just draw in these bone things, because I know where the shoe's going to be, and just kind of strapped on, you know? It's kind of... Okay, so that'll help me draw the rest of the shoe. So the front of the foot's going to come like this and come down, and then over and up. Same thing, over and up. And he's got a tread that we'll add in. Okay, like that. And sure, okay, bone shoes it is. So they're kind of like this. I'm just going to add some creases and folds just to show that the leg bends. So anyway, there's straps that these are all wrapped through. So I'm just going to kind of do something like this. Nothing defined, nothing specific. I'm just kind of like showing that it's wraps. Okay, there's a couple more creases and folds for pants. Okay, and the rest I'll take care of with color. So for now, that is the Shaman. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.